So we're in open G. This is the next video to go along with my first video, beginner in open G. Now I'm going to be out of my comfort zone. I'm not using any picks, and I'm going to be playing with the slide on my ring finger. This is how I learned, but the reason I'm doing this is so I don't fret. Okay, I can fret with this hand and play on this finger fine, but if I play on this finger, I know damn well that I'll make a mistake and I'll fret something. With this lesson, I don't want to fret anything. In the beginning, when you're learning to play slide in open G or open D, you shouldn't fret anything. Try to learn your way around. Once I learned my 1, 4, 5, 1, and then I learned my sevenths to the 1, 4, 5. So this would be this is 1. This is the seventh to the 1. This is the 4. This is the 7th to the 4. This is the 5. 7th to the 5. Then I could play a whole bunch of different stuff. Okay, so I'm going to be ripping off some Sun House licks. So there isn't going to be a lot of damping. There's going to be a lot of noise in this lesson. And I'm just going to keep it as simple as I can. But just for you to get that structure, in your head. So, this is how it goes. so now I will break that down, and what I find is that the more you limit yourself, okay, there's no fretting in this little instrumental I did. So limit yourself to no fretting, okay? Don't jump ahead. When I was working on the road, what I would do is I'd be gone for 7 months a year, and because my guitar was, crisscrossing the country and the weather and everything else, and I had like probably a couple sets of strings with me, I would tune my guitar to one tuning and leave it, for months like that, because if I was to go back and forth, I would break all my strings, and I didn't have a chance to get away from work to get new strings. So I was limited to, 2 or 3 sets. And I would do that on purpose, just so I would be stuck in an open tuning. That's how I learned to find my way around the open tuning, right? Necessity is a mother of invention. So if you limit yourself, like see, I'm limiting myself, I'm playing on this finger, which I'm not used to anymore. I'm not fretting anything. And all I have is the slide, the open tuning, my 2 basses, my 1 bass. This works for my 1 chord. It works for my 4 chord. This works for my 5 chord. And that's all I've got. So what I was doing was, if I can remember, I started out like this. Really damping, I'm just playing on the G7, okay, which is these 2 notes here. You can brush with 1 finger. You're playing off the beat, on the beat. This is the 7th of that chord. Like this was the 7th of the G, the 1 chord. So I'm going. And you can hit all these strings when you go to the 7th. There's all kinds of notes. There's all kinds of notes in there. So I'm going. When I went back to my 1 chord, I just brushed with this finger. And then on the 1st string, so I went. Like that. And that main riff goes throughout the entire song. And that's what I'm talking about when you're doing covers or learning old blues songs. Keep the main riff. This time, no 7th. Resolve it, like do a kind of turnaround. I'm not doing like a full turnaround in this little instrumental. What I am doing is I'm using turnaround licks on the 1 chord. So I'm going, in some spots I'm going. little lick. Back to 4 chords. No bass. No bass. Just brushing. Now the bass. So you can drop the bass in and out. You don't have to be playing it all the time. Sometimes you can just go to your So that time what I did was I replaced the 1 chord with the turnaround lick. Then I finished it by going to the 12th fret, staying on the same 2 strings before I went to my 4 chord. So I did it here, and then I finished it here. Okay, from the 12th fret. Then into the 4 chord. So I'm going back and forth between sometimes I have sort of a turnaround and sometimes I don't, because back in the old days, I mean, they never really had, like, Sun House never had a set. You know what I mean? So what I'm doing here, what I was doing that time was I was just thumbing. Pinching on the beat. Then back the 4 chord and the 7th. 5 chord, 4, turn around. Then for a little solo on the 1. So on the 4 chord and the 5 chord, I'm either doing this. This is the only thing I'm varying on them. Usually I'm staying, sometimes I'm just staying on the 4 chord and I'm not going to the 7, or I'm on the 5 chord and I'm not going to the 7. I'm doing most of my variations on the 1 chord, okay? So the 1 chord I will keep, I will continue to vary it. on the 4 and 5 chord, I'm usually keeping things pretty much the same. I'm either doing the full chord, just the chord, and the 7th. But on the 1, I'm doing a whole bunch of different variations. Sometimes I'm doing this. Sometimes I'm doing this. Keeping this main riff also on the 1 chord. Okay. So all the licks that we can find. I shouldn't be fretting, sorry. So practice this lick with your slide. So you started here. To the 12th fret a lot. So you can do all your stuff on your 1 chord down here. Or you can do all your stuff on your 1 chord up here. You can brush. So anyhow, I just want to get that structure drilled into your head. So all this stuff I just played was over the 1 chord. to the 8th, and then to the 12th. So 3rd, 5th, 8th, 5th, 3rd, 5th, 8th, 12th. One chord, or 4 chords. 4, 7. Your main riff. 4 chord, 5 chords, sorry. 5 chord, 4 chord, throw the bass back in. So don't do any fretting, okay? You know your open G, you know this is your 7th for the G, okay? You know your 4 chord at the 5th, this is your same bass for the chord. This is your 7th for your 4 chord on the 8th, okay? You know your 5 bass, this is your 5 chord at the 7th fret. At the 10th fret is your 7th for that. And again, I'm going to go over this. Drop the bass in and out. You don't always have to be playing it. I wish my dog would stop scratching. Okay, buddy, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord. No picks. And you're doing a combination of this and a combination of this. Brushing. then do your bass and your have to go over this. If you're a beginner, I have to go over this again and again. 1 chord, 7th chord. 4 chord, 7th chord. 5 chord, 7th chord, back to the 1 chord. So a combination of picking and I do that on all the chords, and what I'm doing is going. So I'm going these 3 strings. So I'm starting on these 2 strings, and I'm going up all 3 of them. I hint at a turnaround sometimes I don't. And I use the turnaround licks on the 1 chord as opposed to a turnaround sometimes. And I brush a lot. This lick, I will brush it, then I will hit the bass, I will just pinch to finish it. And it's time to go into bar 4 chord. Brush, 1 chord, 12, 5 chord, then back to 1. Oops. So that's about as much as I can break it down, so go back to the very beginning and get the structure in your head, and then I just find that with these 3 fingers with no picks, no flat pick, like I said in my other beginner video, it's easier to get a separation of notes. It's going to sound a little bit, because somebody like Sunhouse, he didn't play with any picks. And he did a lot of brushing. A lot of those guys did. So you can pick it, you can brush it. Anyway. So that's it. Thanks for watching.